Well, Griffin, you finally got my response out. I gotta admit, it took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I knew you'd get around to it at some point because you're a good little boy who does as you are told. I told you to make that video, your stans told you to make that video, and you clearly didn't want to make the video. You said you might not make a response to it, but eventually you gave in because you know how to follow orders. That is your one redeeming quality. You know how to do as you're told. Now, with it taking you so long to get this video out, I had decent expectations for it. And my God, did you let me down. And you know what, Griffin? I never watched your second response to me all the way through. I skimmed through it, saw a few things here and there, but I wasn't going to watch it, I wasn't going to respond to it, because you see, you uploaded that video, and then I had uploaded my Griffin Gaming is a Hypocrite video, and it didn't seem like you were going to respond to that, so I was just going to leave it at that and see what happens. But now, you finally made a response to my last video about you, and I want to make sure it's clear that you're the one making videos about me. For the most part, I'm just responding to you. Had you never made that video about me, I never would have made a video about you. Probably wouldn't even have known who you are. You know, it's funny, despite you having a larger fan base, you knew who I was before I knew who you were. And speaking of larger fan base, there's something that people need to understand. That if two content creators, or anybody, gets into a back and forth, and one of those people have a much larger fan base than the other person, then it's pretty likely that most people are going to side with the person with the larger fan base. That person with the larger fan base could be dead wrong, could be making absolutely no sense, but just because they have a larger fan base, it's likely that most people will side with them. And it's crazy because a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, for most of us, that is common sense. I'm not saying that's always the case, I'm just saying it's not that hard to believe that most people would side with the person with the larger fan base, whether they were right or wrong. So it's kind of weird when people point to the like to dislike ratio on my videos about you, when you have a much larger fan base than me. So Griffin, it doesn't really matter how wrong you are, it's likely that most people will side with you just because you have a larger fan base and you have a lot of stans. And speaking of being wrong, Griffin, your latest response to me, which I will be showing in this video, you were wrong. Objectively wrong. On so many occasions. You took so many things out of context, you dodged so many arguments, and you strawmanned your way through the entire video. It was clear that you misunderstood so many of the things I said in my video, and maybe that was intentional because you knew you couldn't refute the arguments I was making. There were many times where you would not directly address the points I was making. You were twisting my arguments and trying to refute arguments that I wasn't even making. There were times where you would cut me off, like mid-sentence, and not show what else I had to say after that because you knew you couldn't counter the point I was making. In this video of yours, Griffin, you came off as extremely desperate, and it shows. And ultimately, it was just one big nonsensical dumpster fire. Now, I know this is a long video of mine. It could have been longer, obviously could have been shorter, but this is the length of the video. I don't expect everyone to watch the entirety of it, but if you do, I greatly appreciate that. And honestly, I think it would do several people some good if they did watch this video. Because there's some people who look up to Mr. Griffin Gaming, maybe a little too much. They might think he's funny, that he makes good points, they enjoy his videos, even though Griffin will tell you his videos are shit. And a good amount of his stans enjoyed his latest response to me. But as I've been describing, this is a terrible video from Mr. Griffin Gaming. Like, I almost feel embarrassed for him, like, and I mean that. There were certain times where I was thinking, maybe I should take this part out because it makes him look like a complete idiot. But I decided to keep it in. I kept most of his video in, and that's another thing. In most, if not all of my response videos that I've ever made up to this point, I will show the entirety of the person's video I'm responding to in my response video. I will show their entire video within it. This is the first time I did not do that. I still showed most of his video, but I didn't show the entirety of it. I cut out meaningless things where I could just to get the video a little shorter. But I didn't do what he did, where he cuts out context, where he deliberately cuts me off mid-sentence because he doesn't want you to hear what I have to say after that. I mean, obviously you heard it if you watched my video, but he doesn't want to have that on his channel. So if you do decide to sit through this entire video, you will see just how weak of a response that was from Mr. Griffin Gaming. I know a lot of you had high expectations for that response, and unfortunately he let you down. Now, last thing I want to say before we jump into his response, I am going to put an image of me in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen if the commentary you're hearing is new to this video. If I'm speaking and you don't see an image of me in the bottom left, then that means that commentary is from a previous video. I will be doing the same thing for Mr. Griffin Gaming. I will have an image of him in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. If he's speaking and that commentary is new to his latest response to me, then you will see an image of him there. If you don't see him, then that commentary from him is from an older video. And with that, I think it's time to get into Griffin Gaming's dog shit response. You know, I find it kind of funny how he doesn't want to show his own face, but he'll use other people's face in his thumbnails and his intros. Kinda weird. Like, imagine you're video chatting with someone and you have your webcam on, but the other person has theirs turned off. Yeah, this gives off a similar vibe.
What's up, guys? I hope you all are having a great day. Today we are going to be taking a look at a video that I have gotten countless requests to make a video on. Like, I'm not even joking. This is probably the most requested video I think I have ever gotten in my time on YouTube, so you already know this is going to be a great video. Now, the title of the video that we are going to be taking a look at here today is the internet's biggest hypocrite, introducing Griffin Gaming. And would you look at that? It's me. Now, this video is from a YouTuber you might be familiar with if you've been around on the channel for a little while, and that, of course, is Bring Halo Back.
Okay, so he shows the clip of me jumping onto my chair. That's fine, that's fair game, but I thought I'd add a little more context to it. That was just part of a little skit I did. That wasn't like I was actually genuinely mad and I attacked my chair. Just want to make sure that's clear.
AKA the man who got so upset that Halo 3 released early on the PC that he felt the need to upload like a 15-minute long rant video demanding that 343 never do anything like that again. Like, you know, this video was an absolute masterpiece.
Jesus Christ, I honestly have never witnessed anyone who is as wrong as this man. So you say I was so upset. I wasn't so upset. I said that time and time again. I was not so upset. Alright, so you're wrong there. You said I was upset that they released the game early. Wrong again. I was upset that they shadow dropped it. I didn't like that they shadow dropped it, okay? If Halo Infinite wants to come out early, I ain't got a problem with it. Let me know. That's great. I'd hope for that. That's a good thing if Infinite comes out earlier. So you're wrong again. You said I felt the need to make the video. I did not feel the need to make that video. I just chose to do it, okay? So wrong again. And then you say I demand 343 not to do anything like that again. No, they can release games early. I want them to release games early. That's a good thing. That's a real good thing. I just don't like the shadow drop. So boom, just right there, you're wrong 4 times in a row. It's just so funny to me that people continue to watch his videos. Like, Griffin has admitted that his videos are shit, and I and many others can confirm they are shit, but his fans continue to watch them. So just imagine someone is feeding you shit and you are willingly continuing to consume that shit. And like I said, I have no problem with games releasing early. In fact, I encourage it. I just wasn't a huge fan of the shadow drop and not informing us that the game was coming out early. And that's one of the reasons you hear me say a lot of the time that people misunderstood that video. And Griffin is living, breathing proof of that. And from what I can tell, Griffin is someone who does not like to admit when he's wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong, right? I can admit when I had a bad take. I haven't really seen that from Griffin.
I made my response video to it. He then replied with a 1 hour and 12-minute long video to my response video, and then I replied to that response video with a 1 hour and 30-minute long video.
You know, Griffin, he likes to point out the length of my videos. As he said, my first video was a 15-minute long rant video, but he doesn't mention how long his response video was. His response was 22 minutes. So I mean, I spent 15 minutes talking about the early release of Halo 3, and you spent 22 minutes. Okay. And then of course I made the 1 hour 12-minute video responding to his response, and then he made a 1 hour 33-minute video responding to that. Which, by the way, I never watched that video of his. I skimmed through it. I saw little bits here and there, and from what I saw I wasn't impressed, so I didn't think it was worth watching. I know there's going to be some people who will disregard what I just said and actually believe I did watch that video. I actually didn't. Like I said, all I did was skim through it. And holy shit, real quick, his first response, people actually thought that I had watched the video before I made my response to it. I did not watch I didn't watch that video before I recorded my response. People actually thought I had watched it ahead of time. Griffin thought so as well. I think he said in his video, oh, he totally watched this before. And no, I actually didn't. When I recorded my response to it, that was my first time seeing it. I didn't watch it ahead of time. You are just that predictable, Griffin.
So, you know, this time around, the video I'm going to be responding to is long, but not nearly that long, luckily. It is only 38 minutes in length. Now, I did my best to cut it down where possible. I'm not trying to keep you here for over an hour, trust me. Like, I hate these long-ass documentary-style videos, but I got a ton of people asking me for, like, the past 4 months to respond to this video, so I figured, you know, I got to give people what they want.
I like that. Griffin is a man that does as he is told. In my video, I told him to make this response. It took him a little longer than I anticipated, but he got around to doing it like the good little boy he is. And even though it seemed like he didn't really want to respond to this, once enough people told him to, he caved.
Because just a fair warning, we are going to be dealing with quite a bit of stupidity in this video, so...
He's not wrong about that. See, that would be a typical Griffin response.
Prepare yourself, because we're going to check out this absolutely fantastic YouTube video and find out why I am single-handedly the biggest hypocrite on the entire internet.
Okay, so I can admit when I'm being a little hyperbolic. The title of my video was The Internet's Biggest Hypocrite. He's obviously not the internet's biggest hypocrite. And like with certain parts of this video, I wasn't being super serious. I was just having fun with it. And I predict that Griffin is going to interpret these things as if I was being 100% serious. And that's not me backpedaling, because there's also a lot of things that I actually meant. I'm just saying, if you thought I was being 100% serious with this video, your intelligence comes into question. I was in a dark room, I deepened my voice, I had hair in my face. I was just having fun with it.
Some may know him as Griffin Gaming.
Bro, what the fuck? Am I getting, like, hacked by Anonymous now? Like, what the fuck is this shit, dude?
Like, come on, honestly, if you can't tell that I was just messing around a little bit, I don't know what to tell you, but that is incredibly sad.
Others know him as a Discount Leafy.
You know what, guys? We had a good run. I don't think there's any recovery from that shit.
Okay, when I called you a Discount Leafy, that wasn't supposed to be some kind of massive blow.
It's no secret that Griffin's motivation for making YouTube content is solely fueled by money, and he has alluded to this. This dude only cares about views. He will clickbait and drag videos out just to milk that ad revenue.
That's right, man. I'd milk a video for ad revenue more than I'd milk a pair of fat mommy milkers in front of me right now. Fucking exposed, am I right? A YouTuber that likes getting views and money, who would have fucking guessed? That's basically like trying to expose someone for going to their 9 to 5 and saying you only care about the paycheck. I mean, to be fair, if I wasn't having fun making these videos, I'd just stop, so there's that layer to it as well, but to deny that money and views isn't the biggest motivator behind YouTube is fucking stupid.
Hey Griffin, at what point, please tell me, at what point there did I say caring about views and ad revenue was a bad thing? Can you go back and point that out for me, please? So I'm not surprised. As I predicted, a lot of this video is just going to be him misinterpreting what I'm saying, but he doesn't care if he misinterprets it because he has a larger fan base than me. So most likely more people will side with him even if he's completely wrong and speaking out of his ass. You see, the reason I said that he only cares about the views and the money was because I was pointing out his hypocrisy. Alright? I wasn't necessarily saying that was a bad thing, that you only care about the ad revenue and the views. No. This is strawmanning at its finest, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more of it from Mr. Griffin Gaming throughout this video. Like I said, the reason I even brought that up was to point out your hypocrisy, as you will see in this next part.
which is ironic considering he has called out others for exhibiting the same strategies.
You see, that was my point. Even though a lot of the reason you do this is just for the money and the views, you have called out others for just caring about the views or clickbaiting their videos and things like that. You're a hypocrite, and I didn't think I would need to break it down like that for you, but apparently I do, so I'll remember that throughout this video.
The overwhelming amount of irony in his videos is honestly embarrassing, as he often attempts to delegitimize the person's argument by highlighting specific qualities or statements a person has made.
I don't really know what you expect when you're trying to argue against someone else's opinion than finding what they say and delegitimizing it. That's kind of the entire principle of debate.
He cuts me off mid-sentence. This fucking guy does not care about context. Like, he did the exact same thing he just did with the last part. I wasn't saying you were wrong to try and delegitimize someone's argument by highlighting specific qualities and statements they have made. Again, I was just pointing out your hypocrisy, and if you would have listened to the rest of that sentence, you would have realized that.
But Griffin also betrays the exact same kind of behavior in his videos.
And notice how after he showed that additional part there where I finished my sentence and pointed out his hypocrisy, he didn't respond to that part. Weird. It's as if he had nothing to say to counter it. He picks and chooses what he wants to respond to, and a lot of the time, he can't counter it, so he just strawmans.
This man who hides his face and cowers behind his community.
No, buddy. No, I wasn't hoping for that at all. You're overthinking this a little too much. Honestly, I don't even know why I had the hair in the face. Like I said, I was just having fun with it. I really don't even know what that meant. The dark room with the hair in the face? I don't even know what the fuck I was going for. But apparently you think I wanted you to say that. I mean, you are overthinking the shit out of this, buddy.
Yes, Griffin, I did watch some of your dog shit content. It wasn't easy. It was really tough. I got through it though. I'm still standing.
Really? Because it kind of looks like you're sitting down.
Okay, not entirely sure what he was going for there, but I just wanted to point out, no, I was definitely standing. I don't know how the fuck you would think I'm sitting. You can't even see anything. And when I said that about your videos being dog shit, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just giving you my honest opinion.
I felt like I was losing brain cells by the second, but we made it through. And Griffin, I know you admit your content is dog shit. You know it is. You have admitted that you just care about the views.
Yeah, imagine uploading to YouTube to try and get views, am I right? Like, couldn't be me, but...
Ah, man, he's just not getting it. Again, Griffin, did I say there was a problem with caring about views when you upload to YouTube? No, I did not. Again, we're just pointing out the hypocrisy where you'll call others out for caring about views or clickbaiting videos, and you do the same shit. And listen, as I explain these things, I understand that Griffin and his fans don't care to understand. Nah, this is just fun for them. They get a kick out of it. Even though a lot of these videos Griffin's putting out are complete shit, he will tell you they are shit, and then these people will willingly consume the shit. So I just want to make that clear. Even though I'm sitting here explaining myself, I know these people don't care to understand. Context and comprehension skills are overrated to them.
About the money, that's why you milk certain dramas.
I mean, let's be honest, why else would I make a video on fucking Pokimane otherwise? Do you actually think most YouTubers making a video about her actually give a shit?
Did I say there was a problem with milking dramas? Did I say that, Griffin? Go back and watch it again. Did I say that? I don't think so. Everything I'm saying is just going over this dude's head, and I've said it before, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say it, but he is struggling with his comprehension skills. I mean that. I know plenty of YouTubers milk dramas and popular topics. I wasn't saying they don't, and I didn't even say there was a problem with it. But, continue.
And Griffin, that's okay. I don't hate you for it. You do you. Honestly, I respect that you acknowledge why you do this.
And like I just said in the very next sentence, I don't hate him for this. I respect that he acknowledges his intentions of uploading videos. He really just doesn't care about context. I mean, what am I saying? He doesn't care about any of this. I know this. I get it. This is just fun for him. It's gonna get views. I understand that. He doesn't really care a whole lot about the shit he makes videos about. I understand that. But when you are talking about me, I'm going to defend myself. And it's like he's taking parts of my sentence, or he'll take one sentence and he won't listen to the rest of it. He'll just respond to that first part. Like, as we've been seeing with this video so far, he will show me saying something and then he will cut me off, he'll intervene, he'll say his piece, and then he'll play the additional context that actually matters. And sometimes he doesn't reply to that additional context. He will take things out of context, do a little bit of straw manning, and make it seem like he's countering an argument that I wasn't even making. And Griffin, it seems like he's so obsessed with people trying to expose him. Oh, he tried to expose me. Oh, I'm exposed, guys. Dude, I'm not trying to expose you. A lot of the things I'm talking about, they should be pretty obvious. And if these things are not obvious to you, then yikes.
Like, let's talk about that video you put out about Black Bond.
Jesus Christ, man. Is he really gonna die on this hill defending Black Bond of all people? That's an L by itself.
Like, you see that right there? I mentioned another YouTuber named Black Bond that Griffin made a video about, and he automatically assumes that I'm going to be defending him. Like, he's responding to a lot of the things I'm saying without understanding the context, without even knowing what I'm arguing. And all he has to do to understand that is simply watch the video, but it's like he wants to respond to parts of the video without having watched the entire video, which I understand, that's fine. But once you continue and watch more of the video and you realize you're wrong, you can go back and change that, but you don't. You just keep it in. It doesn't make any sense. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it doesn't make any sense. See, hey, look, I'm correcting myself. It does make sense because, Griffin, I get it. You don't care about any of this. None of this really matters to you. It's just a video for you that's going to get views, make you some money. I understand that.
I just think it's really funny he's white knighting for the dude who got triggered that I made a gay joke on Twitter.
Okay, so this isn't me white knighting for him. This isn't me defending him. I'm pointing out your hypocrisy, Griffin. And you're just not getting it. You are incapable of comprehending this. Listen, I understand that you don't care if it sounds like you're speaking out of your ass in your videos, but you could at least try to make a little bit of sense. Like, just keep doing you, Griffin. Keep shitting out your videos, keep milking popular topics, but try not to look like a complete jackass in your videos. Come on.
I made a funny joke, or not funny, depending on your opinion.
I just think it's funny that you literally thought it was serious, and then when someone points it out to you that it was a fucking joke, it wasn't supposed to be serious, you go, oh, I was just joking the entire time too. You know, I really do appreciate the irony there.
But that's exactly what you did, Griffin.
Yeah, huge air quotes, accidentally leaving open a hentai tab when I was recording in an incognito window watching a YouTube video is definitely the same as calling someone a weirdo on Twitter. 100%, dude.
Ooh, you hate to see it. That is a complete dodge by Mr. Griffin Gaming. No, those two things are not the same, but you know what is the same? You both claimed they were jokes. And you called him out when he said it was just a joke, but you made it seem like it was perfectly okay when you said it was just a joke. Do you see the hypocrisy, Griffin?
Black Bond responding to you, and in his response, he looked up the definition of a joke, and he read it aloud, and you acted like that him calling you a weirdo doesn't fit the definition of a joke at all. And yeah, maybe it doesn't.
I mean, I completely agree, dude. I'm glad we can agree on something, but if you did agree with me on this, why did you even include it in your video? It's almost like you were kind of desperate, but, you know, I think we've heard enough about this particular topic. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
Another dodge from Mr. Griffin Gaming. Yeah, guys, let's just move on to the next topic, because the next thing he says makes a little too much sense, and I don't know if I can counter it. Like, how pathetic, man. If you're gonna respond to the video, respond to the video. So because Griffin didn't want to do it, I'm going to take the time now to show you what I had said after this part, which explains the point I was making.
And you acted like that him calling you a weirdo doesn't fit the definition of a joke at all. And yeah, maybe it doesn't, but it fits that definition a lot more than your hentai tab fits the definition of a joke.
I don't know, man. This doesn't really scream joke to me.
Him calling you a weirdo is more fitting of the definition, a thing that someone says to cause amusement or laughter, more so than your hentai tab does. So way to go, buddy. You played yourself. And you also claim that calling someone a weirdo really isn't a joke. I mean, okay, there's no punchline or anything like that, but people call others weirdos all the time and are just joking around. Call someone a weirdo, I was just joking. That's a common thing.
I mean, you literally just called me a weirdo. I don't really consider that a joke.
How out of touch with reality are you, Griffin?
So, as you can see, the point I was making was that regardless of whether or not calling someone a weirdo can be considered a joke, that is way more fitting of the definition of a joke than your hentai tab was. So you were saying I wouldn't really consider calling someone a weirdo a joke, but that's closer to what a joke is than having a hentai tab pulled up. And this is why Griffin didn't want to include this part, because he knows it would make him look like an idiot, and he had no counter for it. He knows it's true. I'll tell you, responding to a video like this, it makes me feel like I'm making 200 IQ plays. Because I can just sit here as he exposes himself as being a hypocrite. He is proving that he has no idea what he's talking about, and he's doing that all on his own. I really don't even have to say anything. And you know, he might try to play some of this stuff off as, oh, I was just trolling, ha ha ha. But I don't really get what the troll is, because I'm benefiting from this. I am benefiting from you making videos about me. Like, you're bringing more people to my channel than the other way around. And you're making yourself look like a jackass while you do it. So I think the joke's on you.
I mean, you talk a lot of shit about me, dude, but at the end of the day, I'm here to help everyone.
I just want to make sure it's real clear that you made a video about me before I made a video about you. Had you never made that video, I probably would have never mentioned your name. Probably wouldn't even have known who you were. So for the most part, the videos I've made about you is just me responding to things you've said about me or my videos.
And you like to act like you're benefiting from the videos I'm making on you, but you do realize that I'm benefiting from this so much more.
I don't know why you think I'm like out to get you or ruin your entire life. Like, literally, I don't care. Like, if you're benefiting from it and I'm benefiting from it, I see that as nothing but an absolute win.
I don't think you're out to get me, and I don't know why you think everyone is trying to expose you. It's like you get some weird kick out of that.
In the first video you made about me, you called me entitled. Huh. That's an interesting claim. It's not true.
I mean, really? Because when I watched your first video, you could have fooled me. But then again, I don't really think the word entitled goes far enough to describe someone who is actually pissed off that they got to play a video game earlier than expected, which is why I called you an entitled man-child.
And to no surprise, yet again, Mr. Griffin Gaming falls flat on his face because he defends calling me entitled. And I already did this in my response video. It's very simple. What's the definition of entitled? Believing oneself to be inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. I don't fit that description. Not even close. I just love how it is so easy to prove this dude wrong. Like, he says all this nonsensical shit, but all I gotta do is show part of a video or do a quick Google search and you instantly prove him wrong. Like, he has been objectively wrong time and time again. And then he says I was pissed off that I got to play a game earlier than expected. And again, he's just wrong. Wrong yet again. I have no problem with games coming out early. I actually encourage it. Like I said, if Halo Infinite wants to come out early, cool, I welcome it. Well, only if Halo Infinite was ready. I don't want it coming out a complete buggy mess. Only if the game is complete and ready to ship, then yeah, I welcome an early release. I'm just not a huge fan of the shadow drops, right? Where they tell you it's coming out on this date at this time, and you plan to play at that exact date and time because you want to play the game at launch, for whatever reason that may be, and then they release it early. Like, when I'm being told a day before the published release date and time for a certain game when I'm being told a couple hours before that date and time that is when the game is going to drop, I expect that to be the date and time the game is going to drop. And some people wanted to play the game right at launch. I know people love to say, oh, what's the point of playing at launch? You don't have to play it at launch. Or, oh, even though it came out early, you can still play at the date and time that you plan to play on. But the point is, some people wanted to play right at launch. If they released the game early, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to play at launch now. Like, if you make plans to play the game at, I believe it was on a Tuesday at like 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then they release the game early unannounced, then that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to play at that new early release time. I like early releases. I don't like shadow drops. But I shouldn't say that I hate all shadow drops, because that's not true. There's some games that if they were to shadow drop right now, I'd be happy about it. It's just I made plans, other people made plans, to play Halo 3 on PC right at launch. And because of the shadow drop, some of us couldn't do that. Not saying it's the end of the world or anything like that, but the fact remains that some people wanted to play it at launch because of the shadow drop they didn't get to, so they might have been a little frustrated. And I'm not saying that shadow drops are objectively bad. I understood, and I still understand, why so many people were happy about the early release. Like, I understood that. Obviously, people are going to be happy that they can play Halo 3 on PC early. I could comprehend that. It's just there was a decent amount of people who couldn't comprehend why some would be frustrated that it released early. A good amount of the backlash I've gotten for that video just stems from a lack of comprehension skills. But I don't know, apparently I have some gift where I can see things and understand things from both sides. It's crazy.
But that's funny you would call me entitled when you have a video on your channel crying like a little bitch because you had to send your Xbox in for a repair.
Ah yes, getting to play a video game early is definitely comparable to being sold a defective console, and then when you want to get the console replaced, you're told you have to wait over a month for them to try and attempt to repair it with no guarantee they actually will.
You know, I'm starting to notice that instead of trying to counter my argument, you like to say things like, oh, well, this is nothing like that. Or you'll sarcastically say, oh, these two things are definitely comparable. Yes, Griffin, those two things are obviously not the same, but the point I'm making is still valid. Like I say, I understand the frustration of dealing with shitty customer support. Trust me, I get that. But the reason I'm even bringing up this video of yours is because you called me entitled, which I do not fit the description of that whatsoever. But your behavior in that video is more fitting of the definition of entitled than me making a video about Halo 3's shadow drop. But rather than you actually acknowledging the valid argument that I'm making, I'm sure that you're just going to focus on how an early release for a video game and a defective console are different.
You were demanding refunds for Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah, because Xbox has a digital refund policy, and I couldn't even play the game for 2 hours before my Xbox literally bricked itself. But they would not give me a digital refund for the game for some reason. I don't know about you guys, that kind of seems like a valid complaint if you ask me.
Okay, so now we're kind of contradicting ourselves, aren't we, Griffin? You talk about their digital refund policy, and you say that for some reason, they want to give you your refund. But in your actual video, you said apparently Microsoft has changed their refund policy.
So I had to send in a form. I basically explained, like, every time I try to play the game, my console shuts itself off, making the game unplayable. Well, apparently Microsoft has changed their refund policy, and my refund was denied not once, but twice. And just take a look at this email.
So if they changed their refund policy, then that's why you're not getting your refund. You say, for some reason, like, I have no idea why I'm not getting my refund, but in your actual video, you acknowledge they changed their refund policy.
They would not give me a digital refund for the game for some reason. Microsoft has changed their refund policy. They would not give me a digital refund for the game for some reason. Microsoft has changed their refund policy.
Jesus Christ, I just let you speak and you dig your own holes for yourself. So now let's just bring this back full circle. If you believe you should get a refund for Red Dead Redemption 2, and that is not covered by their return policy, then that's a little bit of entitlement there. Because at that point, you're basically just like, I know I'm not subject to a refund for this game, but I want one anyway. But also, again, in your original video, you explain why you didn't get the refund for this game. And then now in this video, you're acting like you have no idea why you didn't get a refund. For some reason, I had to get a refund. I know they changed the refund policy, and I said that back in my older video, but now I'm just going to pretend I have no idea why. You just try to make shit up as you go along, don't you? And also in your video, you seemed upset that you couldn't play Red Dead Redemption 2 at the time you wanted to play it. Now, no, that is not the same exact thing as what I'm talking about with the Halo 3 PC Shadow Drop. But you are still upset that you didn't get to play the game at the date and time you wanted to play it. And that aspect of it is similar to what I was talking about in my video about Halo 3 Shadow Dropping.
Yeah, forgive me as I still fail to understand how a game releasing early prevents people from playing the game when they want to, but you lost the argument on that one, and the response to your videos is more than enough proof.
Now this is just sad. You really hate to see it. Griffin actually needs someone to explain to him how releasing a game early would prevent people from playing the game when they wanted to play it. You see, it's pretty simple. If people want to play the game right at launch, some people did. People like to do this with games. This is not some fucking phenomenon. This is a common thing. If you had made plans to play this game on the date and time that the developers told you the game was going to drop, and then they release it early, unannounced, that doesn't necessarily mean everyone is going to be available to play the game at this new release time. So some people wanted to play the game at launch. 343 released the game early, and some people weren't available to play the game at this new time. They may have been busy. But Griffin, he is so stuck on how I said I wanted to play the game at the scheduled release date and time, which again, I think it was on a Tuesday, I believe, at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Some people, Griffin included, they cannot comprehend that the reason I wanted to play at that release date and time was because that's when the game was supposed to launch. I don't give a fuck about that date or time at all. It's just that's when the game was supposed to launch. I wanted to play at launch. I don't give a fuck about Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I care about when the game was going to launch. God, people just cannot comprehend that one. That's tough for a lot of people. And then Griffin says, I lost the argument on that one, and he points to the dislikes of the video. You know, Griffin loves to do that. He loves to point to the dislikes, even though he knows people dislike bomb videos. I think it was one of his rules in his Discord. Don't dislike bomb or don't raid videos or something like that. I don't care about the dislikes on my videos, especially when a lot of the dislikes are coming from people who didn't even watch the video. And also, people just love to pile on to that dislike button when they see that the video has a lot of dislikes. Like, don't you remember the Infinite Warfare trailer? Yeah, a lot of people dislike what they saw in that trailer, but there were some people just disliking it just because it had a lot of dislikes and they wanted to make it the most disliked video on YouTube. Like, that's a thing. People dislike videos when they see they have a lot of dislikes. And a lot of people who disliked that video misunderstood the video. And I know this from reading the comments. Griffin, you misunderstood the video. I know that from watching these video responses. So a lot of people are disliking the video on a basis that isn't even true.
You also demanded compensation because you had a day one edition of the Xbox One. And if they couldn't fix it, they would just ship you a normal Xbox One. So you asked, how are you going to compensate me for that? And yeah, I understand that frustration. I get that. But
oh my god, he wanted the console that he paid for? What an entitled piece of shit.
I literally just said I understand that frustration. Did everybody else hear that? I heard it. That's what I said.
And yeah, I understand that frustration. I get that.
I don't know what the fuck Griffin heard.
You do realize that's not how things work. That's not reality, right?
I don't know, that's kind of how customer service works. I mean, it can't hurt to ask, right?
Griffin, in many of your videos...
Alright, I like how he left some stuff out there, and he wanted to move on to the next topic. He shows me saying, that's not how things work. But again, where's the context? What am I talking about? I mentioned it in the video, but you didn't include it in yours because you're not a fan of context. So real quick, let me play for you what I said in my video.
You do realize that's not how things work. That's not reality, right? Just because you buy a limited edition of a certain product, when it breaks, that does not mean you are subject to compensation. And you're calling me entitled?
Well, basically I asked him, like, what if you all can't fix my console? What are you gonna do to compensate me for losing my limited edition Xbox One X that I had to pre-order? This is the last Xbox console I'm ever buying from you. Like, I'm done. You've lost me as a customer. I'm finished. I've had enough, but I also want to get a refund for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay, so as you can see, what I was saying there was just because you have a limited edition of a particular product, and that product breaks, that does not mean you are subject to compensation. That doesn't mean they have to give you another limited edition of that product. But Griffin was asking for compensation, as if he deserves compensation for this. And definition of entitled is believing oneself to be inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. I think what he did there is much more fitting of that definition than my video about the Halo 3 Shadow Drop. And you know, right now I'm gonna take it a step further, I'm gonna keep it 100. I get it. I understand asking them for compensation, even if you know they don't have to compensate you. I can understand just asking, just in case they decide to give you something. But the reason I even brought that video up is because you're calling me entitled. I don't fit my video does not fit the description of entitled whatsoever. And that video of yours does a much better job of fitting that definition. So that is what I was showcasing there.
You like to call out others for clickbaiting or dragging their video out longer than it needs to be when you have admitted to doing these same things.
Yeah, I literally do it ironically and tell people to go ahead and click off the video when it gets to that point. But I'm sorry, dude, satire and irony, not allowed in 2020.
You do it ironically. It's just satire. Yeah, that's not a cop-out at all. Like, even in your own videos where you talk about only caring about the ad revenue, or dragging videos out, you literally say things like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it 100, in all honesty. No, I definitely don't think this is just satire. You've said these things time and time again, and now that you're being called out on it, you're backpedaling. So now I'm just gonna play for you the part of my video where I show Griffin calling out others for clickbaiting and dragging out videos, and then you're going to see Griffin does the same exact thing. And you can decide for yourself if you think this is all just satire or if he's actually being genuine.
Take a look at the typical clickbait gaming videos on YouTube. He is back at it again with the clickbait. But the next part of this video, you know, it's kind of boring. It's the perfect example of adding a bunch of random shit that no one cares about to try to get the video to 10 minutes. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it 100 here. Like, the only reason I'm making these videos is for the fucking views and the ad revenue, which, I mean, I don't think I've really made that shit a secret. Here we are to do that once again. This video should have never been fucking made in the first place. This is literally just clickbait at its finest to get that sweet, sweet ad revenue by putting PS5 in the title, just like I'm doing with this video, by the way. But anyway, we're back at it with the clickbait. Now, I understand, man, okay? Times are tough on YouTube, man. Like, right now, I'm struggling just to pay my rent. So, you know what? I would really appreciate if you could support me on Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah. Ad revenue, in all honesty, is complete dog shit right now. Like, last December, you were making like $7 every 1,000 views. Right now, it's about $1.50. So, yeah, it's complete trash right now. So, I understand using some clickbait here and there to get some views. You know, we all do it from time to time. I'm definitely not innocent of it. Thank you for the 500 plus subscribers I got in the first couple hours. Like, the 40,000 views I got as well. That's like $120 in my bank account. I'm not fucking complaining, dude. Thanks for the shout out, I guess, indirectly. But you know, since we're pro gamers here on this channel and I am milking The Last of Us Part 2 for every little bit of ad revenue I can get at this point, I'm gonna end this video off with the most blatant stretch tactic on planet Earth. I mean, you really have to love how much shit he's taking out of context here. Like,
oh, fuck. He says I'm taking shit out of context. Me. I'm the one who doesn't care about context. I'm giving you guys all the fucking context. I'm the one saying fuck the length of this video, I'm gonna show you the context.
Like the first clip, for example, is me making fun of Dreamcast guy for lying through his teeth about getting insider information about the PlayStation 5 spec sheet before anyone else from a supposed Sony employee who just dropped it in his email, dude. You know, that's a little bit different to me admitting the fact that I don't really give a shit about The Last of Us Part 2, and I'm literally just making the videos for views and ad revenue and to make fun of the game. Like, I don't really see those as comparable situations, but I guess I got hashtag exposed.
Okay, so first off, there's his weird obsession with people trying to expose him again. And notice how he resorts back to that same tactic where he says, this isn't the same as this. Like that is his go-to tactic when his back is against the wall and he cannot refute the point that I made. Like, yes, those two things are different. They're not the same. This is obvious. But the point is you're calling him out for clickbaiting something and you admit to doing the same thing. And yeah, Griffin, irony is a thing in 2020 and you display a ton of it in your videos. And I love how he goes on and explains the subject matter of Dreamcast guy's video, the one that Griffin called him out for clickbaiting. Like, that actually doesn't matter here. The point is, you're calling him out for clickbaiting and you do the same thing. What don't you understand there? Like, it's really as simple as that. It's not like you're saying, oh, clickbait's fine, but clickbaiting a video like this, that's a problem. Maybe that's what you meant, but that's not what you said.
Thanks for the shout out, I guess, indirectly. But you know, since we're pro gamers here on this channel and I am milking The Last of Us Part 2 for every little bit of ad revenue I can get at this point, I'm gonna end this video off with the most blatant stretch tactic on planet Earth.
Griffin, I really don't understand what goes through your head. Like, you will call people out for clickbaiting a video and then immediately after that, you will talk about how you only made certain videos just for views.
I mean, yeah, in that clip, I'm basically telling people the video's over, go ahead and click off now. I'm not, like, artificially stretching it out by continuing to talk. Like, if people want to leave the video, they can at any time, so I don't really see a problem with that.
Okay, Griffin, that's fine, but again, you're calling people out for doing the same shit that you do. That is hypocritical. That's what the whole video was about. You are a hypocrite, and I was showing examples of that. Rather than make baseless claims, I actually back it up.
And the thing you're trying to do here is, like, you're trying to act like me comparing the Dreamcast guy video where I said he's lying just to get views and clicks, which, you know, that's exactly what he was doing. There's a big difference between bullshitting a topic and lying to your audience to get views versus, you know, uploading a video just to get views.
And there we have it again, ladies and gentlemen. The same tactic. Yeah, that's different. These two things are different. Yes, Griffin, those two things are different. We know they're different. But the point is, you're calling people out for doing the same shit you do. It's hypocritical. Again, that's what the whole video was about, you being a hypocrite, and I'm showing examples of that. Like Griffin, you get caught, you get exposed, as you like to say, but you just can't admit when you're wrong. Again, you'll accuse someone of doing something, you'll do the same thing. It's hypocritical. That's what the whole video was about. But you just don't have it in you to admit, yeah, that was kind of hypocritical, and move on. You can't do it. So you resort to your strawman tactic.
There's nothing wrong with trying to get views on YouTube. It's the entire fucking point of the platform.
Well, I will say, some people only care about the views, and there's others who care about the views and they're passionate about the videos they upload. And then there's some people that just like uploading and don't care about the views at all. But regardless, did I ever say there was a problem with caring about views or uploading videos for views on YouTube? I never said that was a problem.
Where I draw the line is where people act like something is an actual issue when it's really not, or they're blatantly lying to their audience and clickbaiting. That's where I kind of draw the line. And what makes it even more funny is the fact that the video you showed off of me doing this supposedly literally has in the title, milking this drama for ad revenue. Like, if you click on that video expecting anything else, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you.
Griffin, I don't know. You're coming at this from a whole different angle, and you're literally just trying to refute arguments that I'm not making. The point is, you had milking this for drama in the title. You called out others for milking shit, for clickbaiting. You do the same thing. That is hypocritical. Again, that is what the entire video was about. You being a hypocrite, and I was showing examples of that. So by saying, oh look, it's right there in the title, milking this for drama, How does that's not countering what I said at all. That supports what I said.
Griffin, you also have a habit of pointing to the dislike to like ratio on certain videos, as if that means something when your community is known for dislike bombing videos.
Yeah, and if I do that, I do it before I actually upload the videos, so I don't really see how this point is valid. But feel free to blame me for your poorly received videos. Go ahead. If that's what helps you sleep at night, man, go for it.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what you meant there when you said, if I do that, I usually do it before I upload the videos. Like what, you dislike bomb videos before you... I don't know what you meant there. There's just a misunderstanding there. And again, Griffin, I don't care about the dislikes. I don't care about the poorly received video. I mean, all in all, that extra traffic to my channel, it was good. It's all engagement, and in the end, my channel is benefiting from it. But I did want to point out that a lot of those dislikes come from your fans. There's a lot of dislikes. People were disliking my response to you before they even watched it, because it was like an hour-long response. And as soon as I upload it, boom, getting dislike bombed. And I mean, that's just what happens. People, they'll link the videos in your Discord, and then a lot of your fans, they'll go and they'll dislike bomb the video. That is a thing that happens. But I recognize that it's not just your fans. There's plenty of people who misunderstood the video. And again, I know they misunderstood the video because I see what they're saying in the comments, and it makes absolutely no sense. I see what you're saying in your videos, and it just shows you did not understand what I was getting at in that video.
Now, granted, some of these videos you talked about, your community might not even have known about the video before you made a video on it. But when you do make a community post about a video that you're going to respond to,
Bro, I could probably count the number of times I've done that on one hand. I don't make a community post every single time I'm making a YouTube video to reveal the topic.
Okay, but you did make a community post for my video, and once you did that, a lot more dislikes came rolling in.
When your community links that video in the Discord, they are known for disliking the video without even watching it, which is what happened to my video. When I first uploaded my video responding to you, the likes greatly outweighed the dislikes.
That's right, blame your shitty reception on your shitty video on everyone except yourself. It was definitely my fault. That's why your original video on the topic, before anyone even recommended it to me, was already sitting at like a 10% like to dislike ratio. But you know what? It's all my fault, dude. I'm like the boogeyman of YouTube.
Hey, as I just said, I know it's not all your fault. I know there's people that misunderstood the video. Sure, the video had a lot of dislikes before you made your community post or before it was linked in the Discord. But once that did happen, then a lot more dislikes came rolling in. And you are very well aware that your community does that. And I'm not saying that you're responsible for these random people in the internet. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just pointing out that you're very well aware of what they do. Like, you've had to tell them before not to dislike bomb a person's video. And Griffin, like I said, when I uploaded my response video to you, at first, the likes greatly outweighed the dislikes, and most of the comments were supportive, and then as soon as the video got linked into your Discord, boom, all these dislikes came rolling in before anybody could have even watched the video because it was an hour and 12 minutes long. So I know people didn't watch the video before they disliked it. I ain't mad about it. I'm not upset. I'm just pointing it out. That's where a lot of the dislikes came from.
You have a pinned comment on this video telling your supporters not to dislike bomb his video. You know why? Because you know they do that. But yet you still like to point out the like to dislike ratio, despite knowing what your community does.
Because very shortly after uploading the video, the like and dislike ratio was turned off from the video, just suddenly, man. You know, I think things weren't really going his way, and well, the first thing that caught my attention was the absolutely amazing like to dislike ratio on the video. But just taking a quick look at that like to dislike ratio on the video, it's not looking too good for you, buddy. I'd say that most people probably don't agree with you in this situation. But then again, that could be the reason why my video is sitting at well over 10,000 likes and yours barely has over 10.
The comments were supportive. But then, All of a sudden, boom, 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 dislikes came rolling in, which I don't care. It's all engagement. It doesn't matter to me.
Ah, yes, the classic I don't care excuse. You know, it's all just engagement, but let me spend several minutes talking about how your audience came and dislike brigaded my videos and how much I don't care about it. That's not exactly what I would consider a good look.
I mean, no, I really don't care. It is just all engagement. I mean, my channel has benefited from you making videos about me. I don't think it should be so hard to believe that I'm actually okay with my channel doing better, because overall my channel is benefiting from this. If I really cared about the dislikes that much and it really bothered me, then I wouldn't continue to support my opinions in that video. Like, if I really cared about dislikes, this video is gonna get disliked. It's gonna get a lot of views too, from your fans, from you as well. But the reason I even spent time talking about this was I was simply pointing out how you like to point to the dislikes of certain YouTube videos when you know that your fans dislike bomb videos. I'm not saying they dislike bombed every video, and I'm not saying all the dislikes came from them, but for someone with fans who are known for dislike bombing videos, you sure do love to point to that like to dislike ratio as if it means anything.
And since I mentioned Griffin Gaming's Discord server, I think now is as good a time as any to take a look at his server and see what goes on in there every single day.
Okay, so here we are in Mr. Griffin Gaming's Discord server. I'm going to be typing a couple different words and phrases up here in the search. Now, I don't think Griffin should be held. Oh, you fucking pussy. You're actually going to block the chat. You were so comfortable with them saying whatever they wanted in your Discord server each and every day. Sometimes you were talking amongst these people. There were times where people were saying all kinds of racist or sexist shit in your Discord server, and you were there typing in the chat amongst them. But I didn't see any bans going out. I didn't see their messages getting deleted. And you know what's really funny? A couple hours after I recorded this stuff in your server, your Discord server got wiped clean. So you were so close. I almost didn't have any of this. You missed it by a couple hours. Now, I don't think Griffin should be held accountable for the things his followers do and say online. No, absolutely not.
You know, I don't hold him responsible for the stuff other people say online, but let me spend the next 10 to 15 minutes holding him responsible for the stuff that's said online, because, you know, apparently I'm responsible for it all of a sudden. You know, I'm the hypocrite in this situation, though. I just think it's funny, too, because, like, this only happens when the bot goes down. We literally have a chat filter in the server that would, like, auto-delete this shit and auto-mute, so it's not even a problem typically, but the bot goes down. People abuse the shit, and most of the people that he shows in, like, this clip of the video, I'm, like, looking through it, I know for a fact are, like, already banned from the server, and were probably banned by the time he uploaded this video, which makes it even more funny. But
you say this only happens when the bot goes down. Okay, well, I was seeing this type of behavior in your Discord server multiple days in a row, so don't act like it's some rare occurrence that the bot goes down. I was seeing this shit every day. You were talking amongst these people some of the times. Or maybe this doesn't only happen when the bot goes down, and this was just a recurring thing. Because like I said, I was seeing that shit in your Discord server multiple days in a row. Sometimes there were mods in the chat, sometimes you were in the chat. And I wasn't seeing the people who were saying racist and sexist shit getting banned. Now, when you talk about this bot and the chat filtering, I don't know if you're talking about the way your server is now or the way it was before it got cleaned. Because back when I recorded this footage, I don't know if you had a chat filter on it then, but it wasn't helping much because people were still saying all kinds of racist and sexist shit. And even though I say I don't hold you responsible for the behavior of other people online, you still suggest that I'm holding you responsible. I mean, how do you fuck that one up? I literally said I don't hold you accountable for it, and you still fucked it up. Me showing what goes on in your Discord server was not me holding you accountable. Again, what was I doing? Why was I showing that? I explained it in my video. Apparently you couldn't comprehend it, but I was showing the hypocrisy. Your rule number one in your server: no racism or sexism. And you allowed it. I am in a decent amount of servers, and in no other server did I see the amount of racist and sexist comments that I've seen in yours. And as I said, sometimes you were talking amongst these people. These people weren't getting banned. I didn't see their messages getting deleted. They were free to say whatever they wanted. So again, the reason I even brought this up was to point out your hypocrisy. That was the point of the video. Griffin Gaming is a hypocrite, and I proved that. I backed that up. It's like you're really struggling to grasp why I'm talking about some of the things I was talking about. I tell you why I brought these things up in the video, and either you're just not getting it, or you're intentionally misunderstanding it, because you know you have no counter to a lot of the things I'm saying.
You know, it gets even better when he says this shit.
Griffin doesn't say any of this himself. Griffin doesn't say any of this himself. I don't think Griffin should be held accountable for the things his followers do and say online. No, absolutely not. Yeah, again, as you just heard, like I said, I didn't see Griffin saying any of these racist or sexist things himself, and I don't hold him accountable for the things his followers say online. Again, we're just pointing out the hypocrisy. That is it. Your rule number one, no racism or sexism, and you didn't enforce it. Well, at least I wasn't seeing it being enforced before you wiped your Discord server. Maybe now you do. I don't know. But at the time I recorded this video, people were free to do and say whatever the fuck they wanted, and I wasn't seeing any of them getting banned. And it's not just like you or no other mods were in the chat when people were saying these things. No, I saw you and other mods typing in the chat amongst these people. So your rule number one, no racism, no sexism, and yet you allowed it. Hypocrite.
So you literally admit, I don't say any of it myself. You're not going to hold me responsible for what other people say online, but you're going to spend probably the most time on this one point that by your own admission has literally nothing to do with me and is completely outside of my realm of responsibility.
It has nothing to do with you, you say? The point I was making does have something to do with you. Again, as I've said multiple times already, I don't hold you accountable for the things other people say. I was just pointing out the hypocrisy. And like, hey, I'll tell you right now, my Discord server, you might see some pretty bad shit in there. I don't know what the fuck goes on in there. I didn't make that server. I didn't create the rules for it. But you did for yours. You did have your rules. Number one, no racism, no sexism. You allowed it. I was pointing out the hypocrisy, as I've said time and time again. So it's like you're trying to defend yourself by saying, see guys, I didn't say any of this stuff. He even admits it. I said I didn't see you say any of this stuff. Okay, but that's not my argument. I wasn't arguing that. You are refuting things that I'm not even arguing. This really is a pathetic tactic.
But to make it even worse, there's another layer of hypocrisy piled on when he says this shit.
And hey, I'm not about to be a hypocrite myself. I'll tell you right now, I'm usually all for free speech, letting people say whatever they want. Don't censor them. In most cases, that's how I feel. But again, not enforcing it. Like, so hypocritical.
I mean, you really just love to see it. If you let somebody stupid just keep talking, they'll embarrass themselves at every opportunity. Unlucky as fuck.
This just gets sadder and sadder for Mr. Griffin Gaming. It's as if he's watching a completely different video. Like, I'm wondering if he got his recordings mixed up. But yeah, everything I said there was pretty straightforward. Again, just pointing out his hypocrisy, which he completely dodges, yet again.
Well, Griffin, I'm going to end the video here. You are a pathetic, hypocritical, insecure child.
I mean, I kind of wish he was ending the video here, but unfortunately, we still have like another 10 minutes. And that's like skipping 10 minutes of him going through my Discord server, you know, not holding me responsible for shit other people say, but at the same time, holding me responsible for shit other people say.
Okay, yeah, I did say I was going to end the video. That was the end of that recording, but as I was editing the video, I realized there was a few more things I wanted to say, so no, that wasn't the end of the video. But again, he thinks I'm holding him responsible for things other people say. I said multiple times that I am not holding you responsible, and he thinks I'm holding him responsible. Like, I feel like I held his hand through this video. I made it very easy for him, and he still couldn't comprehend it. So for his sake, hopefully I broke this video down into even simpler terms.
And Griffin, as I said earlier, you are helping my channel way more than I am helping yours.
Again, dude, I'm happy to help. I don't know why you think I hate you.
Okay, I don't think you hate me. I don't think you're out to get me. I was just simply pointing out that my channel is benefiting from you making videos about me. That's all. You know, Hippo Zones was right about what he said on his live stream. How many different people call you out and have criticized you about various different things, and you deflect. And that is so true. That's exactly what you do.
I mean, it's almost like you're upset with me for standing up for myself and not just letting people say negative shit about me without like firing back at them and calling out their bullshit.
Okay, so I hope you remember what you said there when you watch my response videos to you. When people are criticizing me for baseless reasons, I might make a video defending myself and calling out their bullshit.
I mean, it's almost like you're telling me you want me to take it a little bit easier on people and, you know, just take their criticism laying down and not go too hard on them refuting the points they made against me, but I don't really see it happening.
What the fuck do you know about refuting the points they make against you? You've been dodging and strawmanning this whole fucking time. And I wasn't suggesting you take it easier on people. I don't know where the fuck you got that. I was just calling you out for your deflecting tactic. Like sometimes when people call you out on your bullshit, instead of owning up to it, you deflect. You make it about that other person. Not saying you just let them talk their shit, you don't defend yourself. But if you were in the wrong, own up to it. If there is some validity to the bullshit they're calling you out on, then you should admit to it. And that's another thing. I don't like when people get real defensive when you call them out on something that is true. And rather than owning up to it, they might get a little hostile or try to pin the blame on somebody else. Like if I'm 100% wrong about something and you call me out on it, I won't deny it. Now, if you call me out on it in a shitty way and you're saying negative things, I still won't deny it, but I will defend myself. But anyways, the point I was making in that part of the video was just that sometimes when people call you out on your bullshit, instead of owning up to whatever it is, you get real defensive and you deflect. You never admit to being wrong. Nah, Griffin could never be wrong, right?
I mean, lucky enough for me, I'm not really wrong too often.
Okay, so I know you're definitely not serious with that one, but even if you were, you shouldn't be after watching this video. You see, what you do is you make response videos to them, and you try to clown on them, make jokes, insult them, you try to refute all the claims they make about you.
I mean, it's almost like that's the entire point of a response video, to argue against what people are saying about you or about a topic you don't agree with them on, and then you don't add in some layers of comedy as well just to kind of spice up the video. So I'm not really sure what you're expecting from a response video outside of those things.
Holy shit, and he continues to miss the point, to no surprise. Like, you said something about the purpose of a response video. What the fuck are you even talking about? I was saying that when you're wrong about something, a lot of the time, instead of admitting that you're wrong, you'll make a response video attempting to clown on the other person or insult them and meme and things like that, rather than just admitting you're wrong. So yeah, I understand what a response video is, but remember, Griffin, remember, just because you're wrong about something doesn't mean you have to make a response video. Like this video right here, you have been wrong so many fucking times. Are you gonna own up to any of them? We will see. But you will never admit you were wrong. And here's the hypocrisy in all this, because you act as if I'm not admitting that I was wrong, that I'm not admitting I had a bad take when it came to Halo 3 releasing early on PC. Now, I stand by damn near everything I said.
And your failure to identify that fact is the reason why you had the negative response to your video.
The failure to identify what fact? A lot of what I said in that video is an opinion. I backed my opinion up. Just because you couldn't identify the meaning of that video or misunderstood it or whatever the fuck you're saying here, doesn't mean that that video didn't make sense. Now, there were multiple reasons I had a negative response on that video. For one, most people were happy about the early release. I understand that. And some people just automatically dislike opposing opinions. I think that's pretty clear in today's world. Like, for example, let's say Halo Infinite is the best Halo game we've ever gotten. But let's say I don't like it and I'm talking poorly about it in a video. There will be a lot of people who dislike the video just because they like the game and I don't. Now, everything I'm sharing in that video might be a lot of opinions, and maybe I'm backing those opinions up, but just because they like the game and I dislike it, they might dislike the video. That is a common thing. And then, of course, like we already covered, other reasons. There was a negative response to that video. A lot of people misunderstood the video, and then a lot of your fans dislike bombed the video, and they dislike bombed response videos to you after that. Some of them disliked it without even having watched the video. So that just goes to show, sometimes the subject matter of the video doesn't even matter to them, they're just going to dislike it anyway. And also, there's people that just love to pile onto that dislike button when they see a video has a ton of dislikes.
And your failure to identify that fact is the reason why you had the negative response to your video before I even found the damn thing, and why people responded so negatively to every single video you uploaded on the topic thereafter.
Okay, well, for one, I know the like to dislike ratio was bad on that video before you even put out this response, but let's not act like your fans haven't seen that video yet just because you haven't made a response to it. Your fans were the ones requesting you make a response to it.
Like, even this video, for instance, is like at a 20% like to dislike ratio, and I haven't even finished the video on this shit yet. You can blame me all you want for pointing out the fact that you had a bad take, but at the end of the day, the vast majority of people do not agree with you.
And as I already just mentioned, there are a multitude of reasons that that video got a poor response. And no, it is not because I had a bad take. An unpopular opinion, sure, but not a bad take. But Griffin, just because your followers show this undying loyalty to you, and just because they dislike bomb videos of people with opposing opinions than yourself, does not mean you're right. Okay, Griffin?
Bro, like, he legit sounds jealous that he doesn't have, like, this dedicated audience surrounding his content, which, I mean, sure, it's one of the best things in the world. Like, it's fucking awesome to upload a video and have tens of thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people watch it. Like, it's fucking insane. And, you know, I'm really grateful for it. But at the same time, it didn't come, like, overnight. Like, I didn't upload a video and then 200,000 people just fucking appeared and were like, oh my god, dude, we're gonna white knight for you. Like, nah, bro, I work towards that shit. Like, I've made videos, I've been consistent in terms of my opinions and takes on different issues. You know, I don't bullshit people. I don't fucking lie to their face. I spend time talking to people in Discord. You know, I respond to comments. I read the chat in live streams. Like, I actually work towards this shit. Like, instead of sounding mad jealous, bro, just work harder.
You need to wake the hell up. All I gotta say there is, no, I am not jealous, and I never said that you didn't work for it. So Griffin, don't call me out and act as if I don't want to admit I was wrong when you never admit you were wrong. You get criticized all the fucking time. And you get so defensive every single time. Well, actually, hold up a minute.
Yes, please tell me how I've never admitted that I've been wrong in my entire history on the fucking internet, dude. I'm sure you know every single interaction I've ever had with every single person who has ever called me out.
I shouldn't say you never admit you're wrong, because what the fuck, Griffin? Griffin, why would you keep that in? That just makes you look so dumb. Like, I say you never admit you're wrong, and then I say, wait, hold up a minute. You cut me off, and then you go on to explain, see, I've admitted I was wrong before, even though I don't see you admitting you're wrong in that comment. I don't know the context to that comment. And then after talking about how you have admitted you were wrong in the past, then you show me finishing my sentence where I say, actually, I shouldn't say you never admit you were wrong. When you never admit you were wrong, you get criticized all the fucking time, and you get so defensive. Every single time. Well, actually, hold up a minute. I shouldn't say you never admit you're wrong, because you have in the past. So I said you never admit you were wrong, and then I rectified that in the exact same sentence. In the next few words, I rectified that. But you felt the need to, like, cut me off, explain how you have. I guess this is the only thing that you could prove. That's why you did that. See, I have admitted I was wrong, even though I don't see you admitting you were wrong in that comment. Like I said, I don't know the context to that. I shouldn't say you never admit you're wrong, because you have in the past, like in this video right here. You were wrong about something, And then you gave everyone this really sarcastic, smart-ass response. And then you read off the Logan Paul apology and tried to meme that as if it was funny or something. I really don't know what you were going for there.
You don't know what I was going for, but you just said what I was going for.
I mean, yeah, I said I don't know what you were going for because usually when you meme something, it's funny. This was not. In that Black Bond video, you saw a lot of people were agreeing with Black Bond on Twitter. And what'd you say? What did you say? You said, sometimes I genuinely wonder if people are actually that stupid.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would say.
And then you go on to say, oh, these are people who regularly watch your content and follow you on Twitter. Oh, so that must be why they're agreeing with them, right?
Yeah, if you're a YouTuber and people watch your content and agree with what you have to say, then typically they follow you on social media. That's kind of the entire premise of social media.
Okay, so Griffin, do you realize that sometimes when YouTubers are having arguments, having this back and forth, that sometimes people will side with a particular content creator just because they're fans of that creator? That person may be completely fucking wrong in the argument, but they're gonna have a ton of people siding with them just because they have a ton of fans. So the whole reason I brought that up is because it's not too crazy to believe that some of your fans will side with you just because they are fans of you and never heard of me. And Griffin, it's so funny that you would even play that card and say, oh, they must be supporting you because they follow you on Twitter and they regularly watch your content.
Why is that convenient? It's the fucking truth. I don't think people who follow me on Instagram fucking despise me and disagree with everything I have to say. I already know it's the people who like my content and agree with the shit I talk about.
Okay, so I don't know if this is just another case of you misunderstanding what I was saying. I'm not sure exactly what the hell you were getting at there. But the point I was making there was when you saw people agreeing with Black Bond on Twitter, you acted like they were just agreeing with him because they follow him on Twitter. And I was pointing out that there are people who agree with you just because they're fans of you and not fans of the other person. So I found it kind of hypocritical that you would say something like, oh, they're just agreeing with you because they follow you on Twitter, when there are a ton of people who are just agreeing with you because they're subbed to you on YouTube. You realize you have a ton of people who blindly support you. Griffin, reality check.
I mean, let's just say that's true. It only backs up the theory that I was talking about, where people who follow you, of course, are more likely to agree with you. So, literally, you're disproving your entire fucking point that you just previously tried to make. So, good job on that one, bro.
Jesus Christ, Griffin, how dense are you? It almost sounds like you're actually being serious at this part. Again, I was pointing out the hypocrisy. I wasn't saying that that is unusual for people to agree with you because they're subbed to you or follow you on Twitter. I was just pointing out the hypocrisy. The hypocrite. Griffin Gaming is biggest hypocrite. It's in the fucking title. God damn, you talk about making response videos to refute people's arguments. And you just dodge their arguments. You don't refute shit.
Bro, this man is literally determined to die on that hill for Black Bond. Maybe he's a secret fan, I have no idea, but, you know, I probably think I could understand better than anyone my intentions of leaving the fucking hentai tab open, but, you know, go off, queen.
It's funny how he's sticking to this idea that I was trying to defend Black Bond. That wasn't me defending him. Again, we were just pointing out the hypocrisy, right? He said when he called you a weirdo, it was a joke, and you called him out on that. You said, oh, you're just resorting to the it was a joke line. When he called you out on your hentai tab, you're like, oh, it was a joke. And again, I said, yeah, it probably was a joke, but it looks really bad and hypocritical on your part if you're calling out others for doing the same shit that you do. Oh, Griffin, I saw it. I saw you uploaded my second video. But yeah, I haven't watched the whole thing yet. Like I said, I only saw like 5% of it. But real quick, two things I would like to point out about that video was, one, it was a hour and a half video. And you and your fanboys were trying to clown on me for making an hour and 12-minute video.
Yeah, when you respond to a video that's an hour and 12 minutes long, typically the response video tends to be a little bit longer. I think the fact that I only managed to make my video like 20 minutes longer than yours is actually a pretty big accomplishment if you really think about it. But you know, of course you're too fucking dense to realize that a response video contains the original video that you're responding to in it as well.
Griffin, you say I'm dense. The reason my video had to be so goddamn long is because you said so much bullshit that I had to correct. You said so much shit that showed that you were misinformed, that you were just straight up wrong in some areas. So in your video, I was rectifying a lot of the misinformed shit you said. If your response had been a good video, and it was accurate, then I wouldn't have spent as much time calling out all your bullshit. In your response video, you showed a shocking lack of ability to comprehend my original video. So I tried laying things out in the simplest of terms for you. And I never watched your second response video, but from what I can tell, from skimming through it and from watching this video, you still don't get it. You're still misinformed, you're extremely confused, you have no idea what is going on. And yes, Griffin, I understand that most, if not all, of your response videos include the original video that you're responding to in it as well. But you don't need to include the entirety of the original video in your response. I mean, in a lot of cases you don't. You cut it down to get it as short as possible. So just because you're responding to a long video doesn't mean your response needs to be as long. I'm not saying there's a problem with long videos. Look at this video right here. This video is long as shit. A lot of my videos are long. I don't have a problem with that. But don't call people out like you called me out for my hour and 12-minute response to you, and then you're going to make a longer response to me. And you know, just take it back to where this all started. My original video was like 15 minutes long. Your response to that video is 22 minutes long. So I spent 15 minutes talking about this topic, Halo 3 releasing early, and you spent 22 minutes talking about it. And that's what's funny. People still talk about that video or comment on that video, and if people weren't talking about the shit and people weren't making response videos to me about it, that would have been the end of it. I would have put the video out and I would have moved on and never said anything else about it. The only reason that I continue to talk about it now is because I'm responding to people. But apparently it's okay when you make a hour 30-minute video on this topic, but when I make a hour 12-minute video, that's not okay. Okay, makes a lot of sense.
This man literally has no idea what the fuck a response video is.
Griffin. As I just mentioned, you don't have to include the entirety of my video in your response. I mean, you didn't do that for this video. I know you didn't do it for the first one, and I'm assuming you didn't do it for the second response either. But the point is, you're calling me out for the length of my video, an hour and 12-minute video, and then you're making a longer video. And this is all about the Halo 3 releasing early on PC. So you made an hour and 30-minute video talking about it. Mine was an hour and 12. My original was 14. Your videos are always longer than mine. Well, I should say your responses are longer than mine. But you know what's funny? This response video of yours wasn't longer than the original. Whoa. So there you go, Griffin. There it is. You shot yourself in the foot. You kind of just contradicted yourself. Because you responded to my video, and your response is shorter than my original video. So, again, obviously, the response video does not have to be as long as the original video. There you go. Jesus Christ, you talk about irony not being a thing in 2020. Oh, it's definitely a thing with you. You're talking about how the response videos are going to be longer than the original video as you're responding to one of my videos and your response isn't as long. Jesus Christ. And I remember in your first response video to me, you mentioned something about watching your videos back and making sure you don't sound like a complete jackass before you upload them or something like that. Are you sure you watch these videos back? Because I'm gonna press X to doubt on that one. And the other thing I wanted to say was, I noticed in your pinned comment, you mentioned how you didn't watch the video back before you uploaded it. Which is kind of funny considering in your first video about me, you talked about how you watch your videos back before you hit public to make sure you don't sound like a jackass. and you recommended that I do that. But here you are in your next video about me, and you don't watch it back.
Yeah, I was talking about your 15-minute long video. That's a little bit easier to squeeze in than like a 90-minute long video.
Well, you chose to make your response that long, all right? You made your response 20 minutes longer than my original video. This response video that you made here is shorter than my original video. But you also could have increased the speed of the video and listened to it back that way. But regardless, you said this in your first response to me.
Because, I mean, if I was uploading a video like this, I would at least listen back to it and make sure before I hit publish that it doesn't make me sound borderline retarded.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
And then in your next response to me, regardless of the length of the video that you chose to make it, you mentioned that you didn't watch it back. Hypocrisy at its finest. So I don't know, dude. Maybe you should either work on not contradicting yourself every other sentence or just stop uploading videos.
I don't know, call it a shot in the dark, but I think I have a pretty good idea of which one of those two options you'd wish I'd take.
And what is that, Griffin? What option do you think I'd want you to take? Because when you upload videos about me, my channel benefits from it. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Like I said, you and your community, you're going to watch this video, you're going to share this video, and then you're going to work on a response to it, all right? Do as you're told.
And just like that, the video is over, guys. You know, I thought this was but I felt like it was very important to go ahead and address all the controversies surrounding my YouTube channel at once. So if you can find it in your hearts to forgive me, please consider dropping a like on this video. I would greatly appreciate it.
Address? You weren't addressing shit. You dodged so many of my arguments. You tried turning my arguments into something that they were not and attempted at refuting an argument I wasn't even making. I'm pretty sure you didn't refute a single point that I made in my video. Congratulations. So this is the end of the video. Whether you skipped right to the end, skimmed through it, or you watched the entirety of the thing, which I appreciate, although maybe I should be apologizing because you just sat through a bunch of incoherent rambling from Mr. Griffin Gaming. If there's one thing that is clear, it is that Griffin did not come prepared in that response. That should be obvious. If it's not to you, then yikes. Griffin, I expect a response to this video. I know you'll get around to it. Try not to take as long as you did with your last response because even with all that extra time, it didn't do you any good. And remember, Griffin, every time you make videos about me, you are benefiting my channel way more than when I make videos about you. Some people actually believe that I care about the dislikes or the negative comments on the video. My channel's thriving from it, so what the fuck do I care? Just because I get a bunch of dislikes on a video, which I'm sure this video is getting a bunch of dislikes as well, doesn't mean I'm wrong. As I've said throughout this video, there are a multitude of reasons why people would be disliking my videos. And you'd reach a whole new level of stupidity if you want to compare the like to dislike ratio on my videos to Griffin's videos. Because again, dude has a much larger fan base, and a lot of his fans are known for dislike bombing videos. Like, y'all think I secretly care about the negative reception to some of these videos? I don't. I swear I don't. But you can continue to believe whatever you want to believe, that's fine. But you know what? It's just nice to know that the growth of my channel is not solely reliant on the videos I make anymore. Because, Griffin, I got you making videos for me now. I mean, really, I get to make the videos that I genuinely want to make, and then you're there making a video for me as well, and my channel benefits from it. Yeah, you benefit from it as well, but when you make videos about me, like I said, my channel benefits way more than when I make a video about you. And just remember where this all started, Griffin. Who made the first video? You made the first video about me. You put my name in your mouth. And when someone puts out a video about me that is severely disingenuous, there's a good chance that I'm going to defend myself. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. Griffin, like I said, get working on my next video. I know you'll do it like the little bitch you are. And I will see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.